Hey everybody, this is Dust for the Stood on Gaming with episode 6, match number 4 with Boros Burn here in Modern. This particular version we are playing a list from Naya Lord. This list is very similar to the Rakdos list in that we're playing Skewer the Critics and Lay Up a Stage as opposed to some of the more traditional cards. We moved Eidolon and the Rebel to the sideboard. We've removed Skullcrack and Lightning Helix from the deck almost entirely. There's a couple Skull Cracks on the board. We're playing Boros Charm in place of Bump of the Night in this particular build, considering what the Rakdos builds are doing. And then we have two Grim Lavamancers in the main, so we're much lower to the ground when this deck does its thing. We're basically playing 33 one-mana spells, so 19 lands makes sense over 20. And beyond that, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, giving us a thumbs up, and leaving constructive comments down below. As far as the sideboard, rest in peace for the graveyard deck, Skullcrack for any type of life gain effects. Eidolon the Great Revel against anything with a bunch of cheap spells, control decks. Is it Phoenix, Death Shadow, Storm, etc. Searing Blood comes in creature matchups, and then Cindervine is kind of your catch-all. It comes in additional matchups with Eidolon. It can come in against Phoenix decks, can come in against the anything with Chalice of the Void, Leyline of Sanctity, any of that kind of stuff. Also comes in against decks that are heavy on stuff like Bogles, Hardened Scales, 4-color War, etc. So very flexible card. I think it might be, despite the extra mana to blow things up, it might be the industry standard moving forward against the various artifact and enchantment strategies in the format. So I've been certainly impressed with the card and the opportunities we've had to play it. And that says a lot because I have not been a huge fan of the splashing a third color, or having wear tear effects in general, although that has definitely increased as the amount of chalices have increased in the format to counter burn. So I have become a bigger proponent of adding those cards back to the deck. I'm still kind of working on what list is my optimum version myself. That's why we've been playing a bunch of different versions. Obviously the deck has gone in a lot of different directions with Light Up the Stage, Skewer the Critics. The Rakdos builds have come to play, the Gruul builds have popped up on occasion, but I think in general most people have settled on the Boros list with 1 Grim in the main, 4 Skewer the Critics, and they either have had the 2-2 split on Charm, on Lightning Helix and Skullcrack, or they leave 4 Helixes in the main, put some amount in the sideboard, and then kind of go from there. So I will be playing at, hopefully, SCG Regionals this coming weekend. So this hand's pretty reasonable. We don't have any creatures, which is problematic. Hopefully we'll draw one-on-one. We do have a 10 out of 52 outer. So put mulliganing to 5. Once again, aggressive mulliganing usually indicates Tron or Dredge, but could also be, who knows. Alright, so Warriors maybe? Yeah, this might be the Warriors deck. Said we don't necessarily have the best hand to line up against creature deck here, so mono black aggro of some kind. Which goes a follow-up. Wow. Alright, so mono black aggro. I think we might be incentivized to kill some things here. Swift Spear is a solid draw. This allows us to leverage our creature and still kill their stuff without having a huge loss. Another situation where Forked Bolt might have been reasonable. If our opponent continues to race us, they do. block here. I think that said we still go ahead and bolt it, even though it would be in our favor to potentially leave it on the board for an extra point of damage, though we'd have to end up using a lightning bolt anyway, so I guess we'll just get in the damage. Definitely feels like our opponent drew a land, or perhaps a fatal push or something. That means our opponent is dead next turn, unless they have some way to gain life here. Yeah, looks like they drew a land last turn. Bone Picker. Show them Boros Charm, even though it's not likely to be in our deck in the post-board configs. So, this is one matchup where having Lightning Helix would be nice, obviously. Eidolon's better on the draw than it is on the play, so if we ever get to a third game, maybe we'll bring that back in. For now, I think we bring in these four and cut either Lava Spike or Boros Charm. Just gonna split the difference on the two. Boros Charm does have some utilities against some of their draws. So, Path is just an easy interactive spell against what they're doing. Looks like they're just mono 1-drop stop deck. And any type of Searing Blood, Searing Blaze effect is basically going to be a 2-for-1. Beyond that, you know, our creatures are among the better draws, especially Lavamancer. Can mow down multiple of their creatures over turns. If it lives, you know, they could be bringing in Fatal Pushes, Collective Brutalities, that kind of stuff. But that said, Mono Black's kind of a budget deck, so I'm not sure how likely someone playing Mono Black aggro is to even have access to something like Collective Brutality. But I'm not going to bet against it. This hand is terrific if we draw a second land. Yeah, I think we keep this one. Crawler, sure. Alright. Really need a second land next turn, so. And that's it. We do have Bolt to kind of help catch us up, but opponent's good draws are going to be hard to catch up from if we can't develop more than one spell a turn. See if everyone has a push here. So give us shots at more lands. Alright, we hit a land drop. Spend that one and pass. Opponent does not have another 1-drop here, which is important. off their creatures. Would love to draw a land here. Supernatural stamina. Alright. Till end turn, put the gains on this creature turns. Still not quite sure. Why it made the damage sound. Alright, that's a nice one. Going to 9 here, which kind of sucks. Play this out. Do this kind of thing. Do another one. Next turn, I think we can draw, set up lethal potentially. Feeling there's a bone picker in our future. Gravecrawler. Okay. Five, 4, 4, so do believe you're dead here. Boros charm you. Spectacle you. Even if you happen to have a removal spell here, you're dead. So, Monastery Swiftspear and Spectacle showing off why it can be such a busted mechanic there. Pretty easy win over mono black aggro. So, as far as the deck goes, you know, it's nice having the Grim Lavancers in the main deck for that style of matchup. Not having Eidolon against some of their faster draws might have been a good thing. So, yeah. Liking some of the changes, not liking some of the changes. We'll get into that after the 5th and final match tomorrow. This has been Dusk for Stone Gaming, episode 6, match number 4.